welcome to my channel. My name's Rachel and today's video is going to be an April plan with me. So I've never really made one of these videos before, but I've been totally into it and kind of watching other people who do this, and it's really something that I do in my life every single month. And so I thought this would be a really good way to kind of incorporate all the different topics that I talk about, more of like the real day-to-day, like monthly planning of how I kind of go about my life. We're going into the second quarter, and one of the things that I really realized this past, like through March, is that I need to plan better. I've been a lot more, I guess, stricter on my budget than what I have been. I'm definitely like cracking down more on our budget and how we're living, and then just setting more intentions. I have to plan and organize my life because I have found that if I don't, my life gets a little out of control. Things won't happen if you don't make them happen, is what I believe. And so I have to be very intentional with my time, my money, and my body, my mind, like all of that. You have to be very intentional with it. Okay, so one of the first things I like to plan for my month that really kind of kicks off my month is really my budget. So I usually plan ahead just to kind of have like a forecast, like a projection of like where we'll be the next couple months. But I also break it down into two separate, like I break it down by 2 weeks. At the beginning of the year with my planner, I go ahead and mark each month with when my bills are due. So it's like that, it's ready for me to kind of just reflect and look at, and then start making the actual like 2-week budget. I will write down all of our bills that are due within that 2-week time frame, and our food and gas, and our income. I still have about another week left in the budget that I am on right now, even though April 1st is on Monday, and it's not till Thursday that my 2-week budget starts over again. So I'm just gonna kind of look and see where we are and what changes will likely need to be made. One thing that I have changed and implemented really toward the end, the past few weeks in March, and really want to get it going in April, is my allocations for other things other than debt. So I guess this is kind of like a fertility update as well. You all know in January that we started doing more like fertility testing and all that kind of stuff, and we had some money that I had kind of planned for it, but of course it was not what we expected. Back in like November, my husband did a test, and they did not ever explain like how much it would be, and Tyler did not ask because I think he just assumed his insurance would cover it. So all of those fertility tests and the costs for all of them that we had done has really thrown a wrench in our finances, I'll just be honest. With all that being said, we've had a lot of bills that have come in, like medical bills that we are usually not used to. I'm still at a point where we got all the testing done that we need right now, and if we do not conceive on our own in a few months, the doctor like recommended us to start medications, mainly me, I think. So I also don't know what the price of that would be, and how our insurance works with that. So that is down the road. That is not something that we are planning to do, I don't think, in the next couple months. Maybe in the summer or something, if we haven't conceived, that might be something that we move forward with. But for the budget and for fertility perspectives, right now we are trying to pay off all of our bills that resulted from all those testing. And that's just the reality of life and why it's so important to have an emergency fund. It's just little things here and there that have taken from it, and I haven't been able to build it. And then you have all these medical bills. And for me, now that I am a homeowner, I do not want to be underneath the $1,000 emergency fund, because you just never know when something could go wrong. other than our normal bills, food, and gas. We are going to be trying to build back up our emergency fund, and so I have allocated for that. And then I also want to start 3 other little funds that we want to save for. This is where budgeting really comes into play about what you can allow yourself to do in your life. If you budget for it, I think it's okay to do it, even if you're still in debt. That's my perspective, because I do think that you have to still live your life and do what makes you happy. But if you were like really wanting to pay off your debt like really quick and you need to, and you're just, the debt is mounting on you, I mean, obviously you don't do this like that. It's just what works best for you. And I don't think that there is a one thing fits all for everybody. I really just don't. And that's my honest opinion. I have a vacation fund that we've already paid half of our vacation that we do every year with Tyler's family. We've paid half of it, so I'm trying to save up the next half, as well as include a little bit more for like the actual trip, what we'll need for food and all that. Then we'll be prepared, and when it comes that time, it won't be such a huge burden to incorporate into our budget. That is a fund I want to start in April, as well as get on our Christmas fund. That's something I talked about for the new year, like my new goals and all that, was that I really wanted to prepare better for Christmas, because I do, like, I feel like Christmas is where our giving really takes place. You know, no matter if you're in debt, if you're not in debt, like giving is a huge thing for me, at least, that I really want to be able to give. Even though we are still in debt, to me it's still important for us to give. And I think Christmas is a great time to just give to the people that we love. It's about like $1,000 total for Christmas. I doubt that we will spend all that, but just saving it up and whatever we have left over, like that'll just be great to have that time of year. Obviously things can happen, and if things happen and our budget is out of whack, like that's something that can go. Like we can use that money if we need it. So it's just planning for it, but if all else fails, we can use that money. You know what I mean? So, and then the last thing is an L fund. The L fund is for our lawnmower. Now that we are homeowners, one thing we need, because we live on an acre, we need a lawnmower, a riding lawnmower, and they are not cheap. We're gonna have to start saving up for that, and I don't really have like an end date. We honestly probably need it like next month, so any extra money will probably go toward that, and that could mean, you know, like the vacation fund and the Christmas fund might have to wait in order for us to find a lawnmower that we can afford. See, things change. You have to be a little flexible, but I think having a plan is a good idea. Oh, and one thing I want to talk about, but this kind of goes into the next part of this that I would like to talk about, and that is meals. So I really want to be more intentional with how much money we're spending on meals. When I went back and was like going through our bank account and stuff, and just because I know, because I do it all the time, we were going to the grocery store so much throughout the week, because I was not planning properly, and that was something that I really needed to work on for planning. And so this past couple weeks we started, now we're starting to do a 2-week meal plan. We do not go to the grocery store if we can. I know that like we're 1 week in, and I think Tyler has to go get cat food and some rice because my dog is sick and he needs like white rice. Right now he can't eat his regular food. So obviously stuff like that will come up, but it's just, you learn from it, and then you know next month where to allocate more, what you need to buy more. It's just a whole learning process. So all this is a learning process. That my monthly planning is like a more high level, bigger picture planning over all of these things. But every morning I typically go through and look at everything just to see where I am, because you have to keep looking at your plan in order to stay on your plan and to know what you're supposed to be doing. For example, I'm getting ready to work on like meal ideas for April, so I think instead of like spelling out like meal planning, I should probably say like April meal ideas. So like these are just ideas that I have, but I break it down into 2-week increments. And so what I'm doing right now, like our budget hasn't happened yet, which is when I typically do the 2-week meal plan, or I did last 2 weeks, and that's what I think I'll continue to do. But I just want to go ahead and write down some meal ideas. I like to look on Pinterest, and when I look on Pinterest, I like to look for like healthier ideas. I want to kind of mix it up a little bit and do some more healthier options. But I like it to be easy and simple, especially for during the week. I want to do maybe 3. Yeah, I think I want to do 3 new meals this month, and then if we like them, maybe we'll continue to do them. Past 2 weeks for our meal plan that is working pretty well is making a list of like 7 meals. Yes, 7 meals that will have 1 night of leftovers. So what I'm really planning is our dinners. So for lunches, there's only maybe like 3, 4, 5, 6. That's kind of a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for lunch, we only have about maybe 6 days where we will need stuff at home. That's actually something good to write down. So I'm gonna write down, I need 6 lunches, and then we need 14 dinners. Another thing with like not going to the grocery store as much, we're also trying to not eat out as much. The last 2 weeks we planned pretty well. But I didn't really like love the dinners. It's so hard for me to plan meals, really just to cook any meals in general, because Tyler is very picky when it comes to his meals. And so I want to I think this month I want to kind of get a little creative. So my sister and I created a summer bucket list. And so I kind of want to create a 2019 bucket list of things that I want to do, like unrelated to work, that are just fun. So right now we'll start with just like the bucket list from my sister and I made for this summer. And maybe we'll just make it by season. Maybe I'll just make a bucket list by seasons. And so this is like our summer fun bucket list. And me and my sister made this, but it's for Tyler too. So one thing that I can mark off the list from this past month was the vintage market days, because we did end up going to that. A couple other things, I would like to try to maybe plan something coming up just to kind of get us planning and actually doing it. So one of the common things that I can see on our summer bucket list is hiking. Like that's definitely something that we talk about, we just never do it. And so I want to start planning a little trip to my friends where I went to college. We really want to go hike up there with them, and so I might try to hit them up and text them and see if they've got any time for us to go and hike. So that'll be fun. So I'm gonna put that on my to-do list as well. The last 2 things that I am going to plan is, I love this concept. It's called the 7 Dimensions of Wellness, and it's something that Renee does in her video. And I thought that is exactly what I am needing to be more intentional and focus. And the 7 things are physical, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, career, and environmental. And so maybe if I don't want to necessarily make a bucket list for those, then I can just kind of do a focus planning session for the 7 dimensions of wellness and just kind of being more intentional with different aspects of my life. Okay, for physical, I have definitely been a lot more intentional now that the weather is warmed up, and I've been going on a lot of walks with my husband and my dog and my mother-in-law and my sister. And so that is definitely something that I have physically been working on. One thing that I really want to try to incorporate. Now listen, when you're planning and there's new things you want to add, like, I have learned from experience not to just be like, all right, I'm gonna do 100 new things. Like, that's not realistic. If there's something new I want to incorporate, I will try to incorporate it for that month, kind of like just that one new thing, and do it for 21 days. It takes 21 days for a habit to stick. Typically, like, I guess that's what researchers have found. So the 2 things for March, since I didn't do a March planning, I'll just kind of update you. The 2 things that I did for March was I was more intentional with tracking my ovulation, and my other intention has been waking up earlier. And what has been working, I did it every day this week. I started waking up 20 minutes earlier each day, and I was able to do it. And so now next week, like the first week of April, my goal is to get to an hour earlier, which would mean I would be getting up about 5:30. Well, no, yeah, about 5 o'clock. I really want to not only get to work earlier, I want to also be able to get up and take time for myself. Another thing that I would like to try to incorporate as I start getting up earlier is to do some stretching yoga. So that is physical. Intellectual, I've really been working on that. Whenever I find that I'm not reading, I'm not learning. Like, I finished my Cut Flower Garden book, and I am currently listening to Robert Kiyosaki's book on investing. It's definitely something that I want to learn more about, and I think that just helps you intellectually. So emotional is really for me like how I'm handling my emotions. Emotionally, I feel like I'm pretty stable right now. Sometimes I have like these little moments where it's like a roller coaster and I'm feeling good and then I'm not feeling good. It really just depends, and fertility has a huge impact on that for me. One thing that I really think that will help me is I want to do a gratitude journal, and there's one on Amazon that I found that I really want to try, and it kind of asks you different questions, and it kind of guides you. And so I feel like that's something, if I don't purchase that within April to start doing, I at least want to, I keep like a notebook anyways. I want to at least, like, when I wake up early, I want to just jot down like 3 things I'm grateful for. And it really has helped me because I have kind of been doing it in my head. I've just not been writing it down. And the second emotional intention that I really want to set is I want to meditate more. And oh my gosh, anytime I meditate, like, I immediately know that like there's so many benefits to it, and I immediately feel somewhat better in some way. The next dimension is social. And one thing that I have heard so much lately, and I really think it is true, but it's just something I've been telling myself so that I understand, is that you are the average of the 5 people around you. So all successful people talk about this, that the 5 people that you hang out with most, you're the average of them. So make it a point. So wherever you want to go, wherever you want to be in your life, make it a point to hang out with those people, to socialize with them. And I feel like that's more of like my focus, is just interacting more with people that kind of motivate, inspire me, and that I can learn from. I feel like I do that pretty well. I have been around a lot of different people lately, and I try to make the time to either help them or to just interact with them in some sort of way. And so I feel like I'm good socially right now. I do have some other goals throughout the year that I would like to do, but I just don't feel like April is the month for that. Spiritual can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but for me, that definitely means my connection with God and my connection with myself, with the universe, and the people around me. It's really important to me to really have a level head, a level mind, is being spiritually connected. And so for me, you know, that's going to church, that's thinking, meditating. I feel like all that helps with that. The next dimension is career. And for this intention, I really want to focus and plan I've kind of been doing this the past few months, but I just want to continue to do that, and that's to just build relationships with other people that are kind of doing the same thing that I'm doing. It's been really cool getting to like interact with people that actually are like doing this, like doing similar things that I'm doing, and they have success with it. It's fun to share them with you all, and it's also fun just to kind of get that, build that kind of relationship. And then the 7th dimension is environmental. And so I feel like I've been pretty good at this lately. I feel like, you know, I've tried to switch out some products here and there that are a little bit more environmentally friendly. I feel like I'm pretty good right now. I know that there's some changes I can make, but just right now it's not on my priority list. All right, so those are all the 7 dimensions of wellness that I wanted to go through. The last thing I really need to do is do some video planning. What I'll do is I will write the dates of my typical schedule, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I will go onto my social media or my Facebook pages and ask like what videos you all want to see from me, because I really want to make the videos that you all want me to make. And then I will kind of try to make a very rough plan. Like this changes almost immediately, but I just like to have a rough plan to kind of go by. So what I'll do is I will go through, and I usually keep a random list of video ideas, whether it's in my phone or if it's on random sticky notes while I'm at work and I think of something, or even in my notebook here. So what I'll do is after I ask people what they would like to see, I will just make a running list, and then that way I can if I need video ideas, I'll run back to that and see what people would like me to do. So I just finished my April video planning, and I'll kind of show you. I don't want you to see all of my video plans, but I'll kind of show you. Those are all the list of my videos. I only have one spot that is not filled, and I'm sure I'll think of something that can go there. Every month I don't plan out the entire month, but most of the time I try to like have my list. So across from it, so I'll have my list of ideas and then my actual plan. All right, so I feel like that was a pretty good planning session. I kind of explained it a lot to you all. I think the future videos will be more action and less talking, because I really felt like for this month I had to kind of explain a lot of the stuff about why I'm doing this and that. But yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you all have other things you'd like me to focus on and share with you all in my planning day for each month, be sure to let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and check me out on Instagram at Rachel McLaughlin, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.